We will hop right in. So I think the only, as far as like promos and corporate announcements is, remember, only 3 more days for the free lips kit. So make sure you're reaching out to people and getting signed up. And Caroline, you're still doing the thing tomorrow night,
yes, that's the plan, as long as I can talk tomorrow night. Otherwise it might just be Diane if I'm still like this, but hopefully I'll still be doing it. It's still going on whether I'm speaking or not.
Okay, so there is an event that you can invite your prospects to. So there's a post about that on Lipstick&Co that you can go check out about that. And then we have the new Burgundy collection this week. And is that it as far as products? That burgundy looks really pretty from that Katie Enos video you posted, Caroline.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I wasn't going to order again, but then I did after I saw that.
Okay, so we're just going to do a quick training right now on follow-ups. This is just something that Caroline asked me what I would want to talk about tonight, and I feel like this is something that I'm most comfortable with. There's not a lot of things that I'm super comfortable with, but I feel like this is something that I have done well with customers. Now, at the beginning, I did not. I was clueless when I got into this. I had never done any kind of sales or retail other than Hickory Farms one Thanksgiving in high school or college. So I didn't know anything about that. And so I think it took me like a year before I realized how important follow-ups are. So I think that's why I like talking to people a lot about follow-ups and training on that, because I really regret that it took me so long to kind of catch on to that. And now it's something I think where I get the majority of my sales from, is following up. Because I know a lot of times, we post, and people say, well, nobody's seeing my post, or, I only get a couple likes or a couple comments. But that's not necessarily, where a good majority of my sales are coming from. Or the post could initiate a conversation, but then the conversation definitely goes a different direction to kind of get more sales. So following up is key for sure with people. So a lot of times people ask, well, first of all, what are you doing when you're following up? So for me, follow-ups look, I have different types of follow-ups. So the first thing I do when, and I'm just going to start off with somebody, like once they've purchased, for right now. Obviously there's follow-ups going on before somebody purchases, like if they, comment on a post, but that's kind of a whole different training as far as, that back end of those conversations. So I'm just going to start with customers that have purchased, kind of going forward what I do with my follow-ups. So as soon as somebody purchases with me, I typically will follow up with them as soon as I'm shipping their item. And Caroline has a much better, I'm gonna kind of go through this, and then she can tell you a quick part, if you don't mind, Caroline, just about Zen sales, because I feel like that's the route that I need to be going. I'm just not there yet, but it'll just make this process a lot easier and smoother as far as following up. But we can talk about that at the very end. But when I ship something to somebody, I will go ahead and tell them that their item is shipped and when to expect it, and that's just something that's automated with Zen sales, which is super awesome, but I haven't gotten there yet. But I will tell them when it's shipping. And so for me, this is like the key thing with LipSense. I mean, it's important with other things, it's nice, it's just good customer service. But for LipSense, and this is what I kind of really regret in the very beginning that I wasn't doing, is that I go ahead and tell them that their item has shipped, and I go ahead and send them instructions on how to use it. I go ahead and I have just a video that I save to YouTube, just with a simple 5-minute LipSense application, do's and don'ts kind of thing. And I go ahead and send them that video, because I think that is super, super important, just so they have that before they even try it. Because you know, as soon as they get it in the mail, they're going to go ahead and put it on. They're not going to know how to put it on. They're going to put it on wrong, and they're going to hate it. They're not going to tell you they hate it a lot of the times, and you'll just never hear from them again. So I normally go ahead and send that as soon as I ship their items. I have a little packet that I just save as an album in my phone. It's just new LipSense customer, and I go ahead and there's just like 6 images. It's nothing fancy. It is just stuff I saved from Google along the way, as far as how to remove. The one I send first is why are my lips tingling? You know, what to expect as far as the exfoliation process. There's just 6 different slides I send, and the video, because you know some people are going to watch the video, some people aren't going to watch the video, some people are going to read the slides, some people aren't going to read the slides. Just so they know, I know this is a lot about LipSense, but I feel like this is where I kind of messed up in the beginning, and it just shows good customer service because it kind of goes just within my follow-up steps. So I go ahead and send that before they even have gotten their product. That way they are prepared and know what to expect. So when they get their LipSense, they already know, oh, my lips are going to tingle when I put this on. So that's totally normal. So then a few days after I think that it should have arrived, I send them a message just saying, hey, just want to make sure your goodies arrived. Have you gotten to try them? Do you have any questions? You know, again, if it's a LipSense, I'm asking a little bit more specific questions because typically they're the ones that have issues or concern. You know, it's different with skincare or something like that. But with the LipSense, you know, I'm asking them, you know, if they have any questions, you know, how's it going on? Have they had a chance to try it yet? And I think that is one thing that I was scared to do in the beginning. I was scared to follow up with somebody and ask them how they really liked the product for fear that they didn't like it and they were going to return it. So in my mind at the beginning, it was more about, gosh, I don't want anybody returning something if I don't ask them any questions, even if they don't like it, maybe they don't return it. And that's a totally wrong idea of thinking, but that was all I knew at the time. Now I really want to ask those questions to make sure they're really happy, because my biggest concern now, it is so much easier to keep a customer, to keep a returning customer and get them to like expand on the products that they're purchasing than to get a new customer. If you already have a customer and you can make them happy, they're going to keep buying and trying new things. And I've had customers that have ordered products and not liked them and returned them, not very often. But then they tried something else and loved it, and they ended up being repeat customers of that product. So it's really important to follow up because they know, hey, if she's going to take care of me, then they're going to trust you and want to keep doing business with you. And again, another thing, you know, with the LipSense in particular, because I think I just come back to LipSense because it's, you know, the hardest product, I think, to make sure people are happy with. And then once they know how to use it, they love it. But is making sure, what was I going to say? Where was I going with that? Making sure they love it. Oh, but I was just going to say, I've had so many customers that have maybe bought other products down the road. And when I come back later on and ask them, maybe it's been 9 months since they've got a color or a gloss, and I come back and say, hey, do you need, you know, while I'm sending that mascara, do you need a gloss refill? And they're like, oh, well, I don't wear the LipSense. I don't like, you know, how it feels or what it did. And I realized like those are customers that I was slack in the beginning, or not slack, I didn't know, that I didn't follow up with. So learning as I go, but making sure people are happy, because then a lot of times I correct things and be like, oh girl, make sure you're doing those 3 layers. And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that, even though I sent them the stuff, you know, they didn't read it. And then all of a sudden they love it and then want to get more colors and glosses because now they actually know how to use it. So that's just one little side note there. So anyways, I follow up with them, you know, kind of 3 days after they've got it, a week later, 3 days to a week later, make sure they've just got it, see if they have any questions. And then what I like doing is setting myself a reminder, especially for the skincare, foundation, mascara people, set a reminder in my phone, and Caroline, you can probably speak on the Zen sales if there's a system in that. But I like following up with people before I know their product is going to run out, because listen to what happened to me last week. I had a customer come over for a demo. She's been a good customer. She's bought things along the way for 2.5 years from me. But before this was the first time she was coming over for a demo. I went back in her customer history in Square just because I wanted to really know like what she's used before. So I wanted to seem knowledgeable, good customer service. And I saw back probably right when I got into the skincare selling it, that she had bought a face wash from me. And I was like, that's odd. That's been like 1.5 years. And she hasn't bought another face wash. I was like, she must not have liked it. So we're talking, doing her makeover, talking about some skincare, and I bring that up. I'm like, what did you ever, think about the face wash? This is where I was slack and I hadn't followed up initially. And she was like, oh, she was like, I loved it. She was like, I just ran out, and I guess I just picked something up at the drugstore the next time I was there. And I was like, idiot. Like, she liked it, but because I hadn't supplied her with a refill right away, she was just going to the drugstore. And that's the key thing about anybody, especially with cosmetics or those repeat things. Like, you run out, especially me, like I'm the slackest person, like I forget, I'll sit there and bang stuff out, shampoo or whatever in the shower. It's not until I completely run out, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have time to order it from her. She's gonna either have to order it or, ship it to me, and it's gonna take a while. I'll just pick it up, at the store while I'm there. So that's why it's really important that you want to stay ahead of when people are going to run out, and make sure you follow up with them before they're going to run out of their item. And then they're going to see that just as good customer service. You're not bugging them at all. It is just, it's a way of providing good customer service and making sure they get their refills from you, and they're not going to pick them up at the local drugstore while they're there when they forget and they're out of something and need it the next day. And if y'all have questions, speak up and go, y'all talk. And if you have good systems or things that you found, y'all share as well. Okay, so another question, a big question is, so how do I follow up with people? Like, what do you say? Because it doesn't need to be, you're not being spammy, you're providing good customer service. And so I normally will just, obviously that first week, follow up is, you're just asking them if they got the products, how are they liking them, do they have any questions? And then for those refill ones, a lot of times I'll make it just very laid back. I'll send a message, hey girl, saw the picture of you guys, at the game this weekend, your daughter looked adorable, just open it with something genuine that either is going on in their life, or a compliment, or something you've seen on Facebook. Typically before I message somebody, I will hop to their Facebook wall just to kind of check it out, because well, you're looking for something to make conversation with them on. And there's been a couple times where I've sent messages in the beginning to people, who just had a tragedy happen, and that's just kind of embarrassing because you don't see everything on Facebook, but I just like to check out people's walls before I send them a message, just kind of stay in the loop of what's going on in their life before I message them. But then, after I make a little small talk and just say, hey, I'm getting ready to place an order this week, just checking up. I figured you're probably running low on your, evening moisturizer. Just want to check in if you want me to go ahead and order your refill. That way we have that, because I don't want you to run out. So again, put it in a way that you're helping them out. You're not doing anything to help yourself out. Make sure to always put them first. Sometimes if I know an easy way to follow up with people that haven't maybe purchased in a while, what I will do is, say it's been 6 months or so and they haven't followed up, I'll reach out to people on the day that I'm getting ready to place my order and just be like, hey girl, I'm getting ready to place an order. Just wanted to check to see if you knew we have, this new color or the new mascaras. I thought you would love those. If there's anything you need, go ahead and hop in on the order by tonight, and I'll give you free shipping. So I kind of make it a little more urgent for some of those people who haven't ordered in a while, just to make sure that they get in on that order. And then also at the same time, you're reaching out to them and offering them something. So you're doing something kind of nice for them. So that's just a little trick. You obviously don't have to do that, but that's just something I do when I reach out to some of those customers who maybe haven't bought in a little while. Does anybody else have any ideas of how they like to follow up with customers, or what they like to say, or their methods with that?
While we're recording, I do want to say this for the people who joined in tonight, because there's so few people. Everybody that joined in tonight, and I will do this sporadically because we are recording these and posting them for the team for people who can't join in, but we really do want people to join live so we can get to know each other and hear your wins and what struggles you might be having that we can help you overcome, because that's going to be kind of the next level of these trainings coming up. And I want you guys to continue to join in live. So everybody who joined in live tonight, please send me, just private message me on Facebook and send me your address, and I'm going to send you a surprise free product. And I still have not sent out the other ones from last week because not everybody has not sent me their address yet. I was going to do it all at once. So if you won something on the first week, make sure to send me your address. And if you, all of you that are on right now, send me your address also.
Woohoo! Thank you, Caroline. That's sweet.
You're welcome.
But the last thing I was going to say about follow-ups is, I think sometimes, maybe you made that initial sale with somebody, and then maybe you follow up and you get a no from somebody. A no could just be for that product, and never take it like personally. Obviously, you don't want to be spammy, but if you're not a spammy person, you're not going to come off as being spammy. But sometimes for certain people, it can take, they say that 80% of sales come from like 5 to 12 contacts. So, it could be that maybe somebody had a question about a product and answer the question, but they weren't ready to purchase, and you follow up with them. Sometimes it takes a little while for people, so don't be scared to follow up with people. And a great example is I get some drinks from another company's, another direct sales company, and the girl, she messages me every month. She's getting ready to order, and normally I only order the drinks probably like every 3 or 4 months, and she knows that. That's the only product I get are these drinks. But every month she sends me a message, says, hey girl, I'm getting ready to order. Just need to see, did you want some more fizzy sticks? And, there'll be 2 or 3 months in a row where I say no, but it's not, she doesn't take that personally. It's not that she's bothering me. I appreciate, because honestly, I would forget. I'm a great example of, if I run out of them, I'm probably just going to find something else at the grocery store. But because I know, well, next month she's going to message me and I'll get in on her next order. So just, if people love the product and they're using something, just because they say no 1 or 2 months, it's still okay to follow up. You're not being spammy, but don't be scared to follow up with people. A lot of times people appreciate it, and it's offering good customer service. Okay, any questions? It's 9:32, so we don't want to keep y'all. We're going to try to keep these 30 minutes. Caroline, did I leave anything out you wanted to say?
You did a great job. Those were awesome tips, and I learned some stuff that I'm not doing that I need to add in. The only thing that I would add in is and you kind of did say this, but I just want to add one specific product that I get a lot of sales from following up in. It's like, group your customers by products that tend to be reordered often. And Lisa was talking about that with face washes. But the big one to remember also is mascara, because we all know your mascara dries out after 2 to 3 months, no matter what brand it is. Your people need new mascara after 3 months tops. So group up all your mascara clients, however you see fit, as far as how to organize them. If you just have a list or whatever, and keep track of it, or I keep track of it through my Zen Sales program, but send them an email, just like Lisa was just saying, hey, you ready for that mascara refill? And I get so many. I have sold more mascara this year than I have sold any other product, but like by far. And I know that's why. And they're going to go to the drugstore and buy one. If you're not on top of it, they will, because people will not go without mascara. Most people, if you wear makeup, you wear mascara every single day. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I would add just about that specific product, is to make sure you are really following up with those customers every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just because there's so many new mascaras always coming out, and people want the very best mascara they can find. So as soon as they run out, they probably will try whatever the latest thing is out.
For sure.
Okay. Well, if nobody has any questions, anybody have any questions about anything? It doesn't have to be about this training. Anything in general?
Okay, so next week, did anybody bring those forms, your weekly activity summary report from last week? You did? Okay. Do you want to tell us some of your categories that you put on there and what you saw activity from? I'm going to stop recording, so this will not be advertised to everybody. Hold on, let me do that first. Did it stop? Hold on, I got to figure this out. Okay. Stop cloud recording.